Good afternoon. Welcome. I would like to maybe warmly welcome you to our today's webinar dedicated to Work and Travel program. A few words about me, because some of you may know me, but I saw just before we started that we have a lot of guests that are not from our university. So my name is Agnieszka Faron. I work at the University of Business in Wrocław. I'm a Vice Dean for Students Affairs, and I'm honored to moderate today's webinar. A webinar is free. It is, as you can see, available on our Facebook, and very important information, if you will be interested later in some topics and, for example, you missed some parts of the webinar, you can see this event once again it will be available on our Facebook and on our website. A few words about the university, maybe not even few words, but just 2 sentences. We are very proud because we are one of the most international universities in Poland. This is a part of our mission that we really take care of our international relations, and we encourage our students to go abroad, to take part in all international programs like Erasmus Plus and so on. So I hope that our students have a lot of possibilities to use this international trips to develop their skills, different skills, their competences, not only language skills, but also competences connected with their future career. And this event, this webinar, main goal is to promote the idea of Work and Travel program. We know that a lot of students are interested in that kind of trips, in that kind of adventure. And that's why today, in cooperation with a company that organizes such programs, we would like to encourage you, we would like to promote, we would like to show you this possibility. Shortly about the schedule. So as I said, today we've prepared this event in cooperation with a company, Go to USA, and we will start with a short presentation prepared by a representative of this company, Mariusz. Mariusz is already with us, and in a moment he will tell you all details about the program, about the formal requirements, and later, after short presentation, he will also answer your questions. So, a practical information: if you have any questions, do not hesitate to write us, and I will be reading these questions and present them to Mariusz, and I'm sure he will answer very detailed all the questions. After Mariusz's presentation, we will have a live broadcast with New York, because we will connect with Shari, that represents employees that offers job in USA, of course, for participants of the Work and Travel program. Shari also prepared a short video, so we will see the video together, and later she will be available for you, and also she will be ready to answer your all questions, all doubts. So please, also you can, in the meantime, when you will be watching the video, you can also ask questions if you will have any, and I'm sure you will have. And after Shari, we will have an honor to welcome on our meeting the Konsul of the the consul of the US Consulate General in Krakow, Ed Ferguson. He is not with us yet, but soon he will join because of a lot of responsibilities. But for sure he will join us together, and he will give you a lot of details about formal details connected with visas and other necessities. And at the end, let's say, of this, I would call it formal part, you will have a chance to hear to hear our students, maybe like this. So they will share, two students will share with you their experiences, their memories. They will show you a lot of pictures. I already saw them and they are really amazing. So two students will share their presentations, will tell you about this practical and non-formal issues connected regarding the Work and Travel program. And I've also invited one of our teachers, one of our academic teacher, because I heard that she also took part in such a program when she was studying, and she will also show you some pictures and tell you about different paths of career after the program. So I think it's high time to start. Thank you once again for joining us. We hope that you will stay with us till the end of the event. And remember, you can ask questions. So please write on the chat, and for sure all questions will be noticed, and all questions will appear after in the discussion part. So now I think I will give the floor to Mariusz from Go to USA. Hello, Mariusz.
Hello.
Yes, Mariusz is with us. So Mariusz, we are waiting for your presentation because I think that's the most important formal part, and you will tell us a lot of interesting. You will share with us a lot of interesting things.
Thank you, Dr. Faron. Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mariusz Kraśnicki. I'm the owner of Go to USA Summer Work and Travel Agency. Summer Work and Travel Agency that sends people to the United States. Go to USA was established in 1992. We've been offering service in multiple languages: Polish, English, Ukrainian, Russian, Kazakh, Turkish, and even Slovak. Currently, Go to USA has offices in Krakow, Rzeszów, Lublin, Wrocław, and Łódź. In front of each our location during our business hours, there is American flag waving, just like in front of US consulate in Krakow. I'm a big fan of American culture, and for years I've been trying to share my enthusiasm with young people, especially with those who carry American dreams in their hearts. While waiting for our main guest, US Consul Mr. Ed Ferguson, I will tell you a few words about summer work and travel. My speech will be in American English with Greenpoint accent. Before I start, I would like to say that despite my huge experience in giving speeches to young people, I find it extremely difficult to speak to camera far away from the audience without possibility to catch someone's eyes or to pick up emotions from audience. That's why I'm going to ask you questions. Hello, students. How are you today? Are you okay? Are you fine? Or just hanging in there? The most important thing is that you are present here on WSH webinar, which can be your turning point in your life. Summer work and travel to the US. What is this? This is a cultural program run by US government for over 30 years, thanks to which students from many countries can work legally in the US during the summer and travel for 30 days in the US after the work period. In case of students from Poland, the working period this year is May 25th, September 30th. Students going for the program are getting J1 visas. Shortly speaking, J1 visas are issued to students who can prove their active student status and who are communicative in the English language. I'm sure you all are communicative in English, but you need to be a student to take this opportunity. If you are a student, you can make it happen. Is it worth it? I've been in this business since 1992. To tell you the secret, my first student, the student I helped first in the past, went to America in 1990, long time ago. One thing I can tell you for sure, the participation in summer work and travel is the best investment that student can make. I have to repeat it. Це є najlepsza inwestycja w себе. I have to repeat again. Summer work and travel – это самая лучшая inwestycja w siebie. Nie ma lepszej inwestycji w siebie dla studenta niż summer work and travel. Why? Let me ask you a question. Which is the most important language in the world at present? French. Someone said French? Did I hear well? That is interesting, but it's not the right answer. German, French, Spanish. It's good to know these languages, but as a second language. Of course, English is the language that everybody who plans career in our global economy has to know. And yes, summer work and travel is a super intensive course of English language, highly effective on every level of language knowledge. Absolutely, there is no better way to learn foreign language than living in the country where this language is spoken by native speakers. The progress you are going to make during your 3, 4, 5 months stay is unbelievable. You will start thinking in English. You will break the barrier of speaking. You will possess a great ability to understand spoken language. You will learn a lot of common phrases, enlarge your vocabulary with the quality of proper pronunciation, which is crucial for communication. Yes, summer work and travel is the best school of English. The second set of profits coming from summer work and travel, you can use talking to your parents about their support of your ideas. I'm a good person to confirm it because of my age. I could be a father probably of each of you, and my kids are summer work and travel participants. My oldest daughter went for summer work and travel 4 times in a row. My youngest daughter is planning to go this year for the 3rd time, and my boy is going for the 2nd time. Summer work and travel is a school of character. You will get matured. You will be more disciplined. You will change your attitude to work, to your duties. You will get respect to employers, and you will start managing your money better. Maybe for this reason, the line in your future CV confirming your summer work and travel activity is so precious for employers. Okay, I will stop preaching. Let's move to next section of profits. American tourist attractions. You name them. Big cities, New York City, Miami, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Las Vegas. New York City is my city. I had a chance to work in Manhattan in the past. I love this city. When you arrive to New York City, you need to take a ferry to Liberty Island to get closer to Statue of Liberty and have a perfect view for downtown. When you are very close to Statue of Liberty and you are looking at the downtown of New York City at the same time, it's like you are grabbing a freedom. It is so powerful. When I ever have a chance to go for this ferry again, I do it because this is unbelievable feeling, catching the freedom. I wish you everybody have these feelings. In New York, I would recommend also going for a Broadway show. It is my strong recommendation. The walk along famous Fifth Avenue to admire forests of skyscrapers, spending some time in Central Park during the day, and absolutely very important, visiting South Seaport in the evening, where is a spectacular view at Brooklyn Bridge. Of course, don't forget about Times Square. So colorful. Miami, South Beach, one of the most beautiful and famous beaches in the world. Imagine a party in this place. It must be awesome. San Francisco, with its Golden Gate Bridge and Alcatraz prison. Boat trip to Golden Gate when the smoke is going down. Very romantic, extremely exciting. Go for it. Hollywood sign in LA? Great for I wanna be a star students. Casinos in Las Vegas? Don't take too much money there. My advice. Grand Canyon, Yellowstone, Niagara Falls, Hawaii Islands, Disneyland, you name them. You will be able to afford heavy traveling in the US. And what it means? Unbelievable adventures, unforgettable memories, great collection of crazy pictures and videos, having fun, meeting new cultures, enjoying parties with new people, making new friends, sometimes from very far destinations. Thanks to new friends, you can plan future travels all over the world. And you are asking, is it worth it? There is one more reason of going for summer work and travel program. Creating financial sources which can be used for intensive traveling, of course, in the US, but also to cover next years of studies or to bring help to your families. This is particularly appreciated by students who are money-oriented. I have another question to you. Are you money-oriented students? Money-oriented students, please put your hands in the air. Put your hands in the air so we could count you. 1, 2, 3, 105, 250. Yes. Our experience is the same. Almost all summer work and travel students care about vacational income. For these students, we have very good news. Go to USA has been sending students to very busy tourist resorts, mostly at the coast of Atlantic Ocean. resorts where American tourists may enjoy beaches of Maine, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New York, but first of all, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, South Carolina, and North Carolina, with the beautiful island, the Outer Banks. In these very busy resorts, it is extremely easy to get overtime hours. It is paid 150% your regular hour rate, or get a second job. We keep sending mostly to restaurants and hotels where you can meet and get satisfaction from absolutely unique culture of tipping of Americans. Hard-working, money-oriented students can afford heavy traveling and still bring nice savings back to Poland or to their home countries. I am almost done. I just would like to say, let's go to USA. If you are ready, pick up special rebates we prepared for this event. $50 or $100 and registered as soon as possible. Thank you very much. If you have any questions to me, I'm ready to answer.
Mariusz, I think that the last part of your presentation was the most convincing one. When I saw these dollars, if I were a student, I will for sure go there. Hopefully, I will earn more than on one, but yes, but I think it's encouraging. Thank you very much for this presentation. I was observing the chat. So thank you very much. We have a huge audience. A lot of students is taking part in the conference. I saw a lot of comments like, I wish I could say something. We hear you. Yes, we would like to answer you. So our students, our participants are very active. So thank you very much. We are really happy to see that you are interested. I was making notes all the time. Yes, I have a lot of questions. About some you already answered, but maybe it's good to ask once again and to hear your very short answer. The first question, if some of the questions, in your opinion, should be questions to the consul, just let me know, okay?
Yes.
Aman, for example, Aman asked, when the students usually meet with the consul before going to USA. So when the meeting will be? Yes, you see the comment above, below.
Okay. On a regular basis, we are the most interviews with consul and consulate and embassy takes place in May and in June. And I think that the pandemic will not change this situation, because we are still in March, so we are expecting that early in April we will get a message that the embassies and consulates are open for issuing J1 visas.
Okay, thank you. Another question was from Julia. What documents will be required?
Of course, simply saying, you need to have passport, valid passport, 1 year, until at least 6 months after planning return from the US. and you have a valid student visa, and of course you have to have a proof of being an active student. These are the documents that you have to show to Konsul during your visa interview. But there are also documents that you need to present earlier during the procedure of getting the DS 2019 form. This procedure is pretty complicated and it lasts for a few weeks. It is also connected with confirmation of your job offer and your housing, which is crucial. So we don't have too much time to register. I think that we will not continue recruitment for this season after the mid-April. So we have 1 month to register.
Okay, thank you. Another one was from Valeria, and I guess one more student ask about similar aspect. That is the timing. So when the program will start and for how long? It was another question. So maybe you can answer these two questions together.
This year, students from Poland can work legally in the US during summer work and program between May 25th and September the 30th. 4 months and 5 days of work, and then after the job period, they can spend 30 days for travel. If you would like to go a few days earlier before May 25th, because it is possible that you will go for 3, 5, 7 days of quarantine. I don't know what pandemic will bring us, but short quarantine period is possible this year. You can go earlier. You can go even at the beginning of May, but legal work starts on May 25th. And so this is a timing connected with just legal work and travel for students studying in Poland. I hope I answered the question.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I have one more question about connected with what you just said, because Valeria asked, will the program affect the study here? But we already know that not really, because this is a program for the summer, yes? Am I right?
Yes, and I would have a question to you. Do you think that some students could pass exams, online exams, even staying on quarantine in the US? Like an exam in your school while being in the US on the quarantine?
Well, I think that nowadays, when we have online classes, it's not a problem, not at all. And as I said at the very beginning, we are a very international university. This is a part of our mission. These are our part of our strategy. So we are really supporting our students, and we wish that a majority of our students could go abroad because we see this as a huge benefit for them and also for us as a university, because we wish to have such a curious and advantageous students. So yes, and especially that in this pandemic time we have online classes, so I don't think that this will be a problem, but this will be, I think it's rather an individual talk, and me as a Vice Dean for Students Affairs, I can assure you that I will help you with this, for sure. At our university, you have full support. Okay, there was one question about pandemia from Katarina. So how will this program work in a pandemic? But I'm not sure if you would like to answer these questions, or maybe we will wait because I know that the council will talk about this. But if you wish, you can also answer.
I can say only one thing, that if dark scenario arrives, which is not very probable at this time, we have a special enclosure in our agreements for students, and we are offering to students who register earlier and sign agreement with us, so-called full refund in case of dark scenario, pandemic dark scenario, within up to 2 weeks time. So immediate refunds if the dark scenario happens. But now the American organizations, our partners in America, are very sure that everything will be okay. I'm pretty sure that soon we will get the clear message also from U.S. consulate and U.S. embassy in Poland. But this is not up to me. I have to follow the rules, and I think this is the consul will tell more about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. And one more question, I think very important for students, about costs. So, for example, Sofia asked, how much would it cost? And there was one question very similar. So, is this program for free? So now, if you could, let's say, tell us something more about your company, and also because I guess you will be talking about the fees that from your perspective. So you can also, because there was a question, which particular company or web page we need to apply for the program. So if you could now maybe present very shortly this part.
As I said in my short speech, summer work and travel is an investment. This is the best investment your student can make. But you need to have money at the very beginning because mostly because of the J1 visa procedure, which requires DS 2019 form. DS 2019 form is a document which is pretty expensive. Sometimes American organization requires more than $1,000 for issuing the document. So there are different prices, different costs, depending different options and the length of the program, but altogether, with round-trip ticket to the US, the investment is for sure over $2,000, and it's probably close to 2,500. You need to have these funds to go for the summer work and travel, but you will cover this cost probably during the first month of stay easily, even if you have only one job. If someone wants
okay, I saw one.
Sorry.
Yes, sorry, go on.
If someone would like to have a detailed price list from us, all we need is email address. We can send immediately the price list. And please remember that the price list is your price list is $550 or $100 better, because we offer a special rebate for students participating in the event. Thank you.
Yes, because I just read one more comment that there is a lot of such work and travel companies in Poland, and Alisher asked, what makes your company special among other companies? But I think you've just answered this question. From my perspective, I will only add that what makes...
Yes, we are the work and travel agency with great experience, starting 1992. I don't know the agencies with so big experience as we. And we serve our service in multiple languages. English, Ukrainian, Russian, Kazakh, Polish, of course, Turkish, and Slovak. And you can visit us in 5 places in Poland and meet people, give a handshake to these people and talk to your native language. And this is something that probably no other agencies are not offering at this time. And moreover, we take special care of students who are money-oriented. We are sending students not to middle of nowhere of America. We are sending students to tourist resorts when tourists from big cities are coming and would like to spend some money and rest, and our students are serving them. That's why they can make good income during the summer if they are hardworking.
So, Mariusz, I think, yeah, there is more and more questions, but I think that one of the most important one is about the accommodation. Do you provide accommodation?
Of course, we do. It's not possible to send a student to America without confirmed housing. Our organizations in the US are very focused on checking the potential place of living if, for example, students would like to take care of it by himself. Sometimes it happens, but 99% of our job offers are going with the housing, which is known by the address, by the quality of housing, known by the person who owns the property, and everything is checked by American organizations who takes care of the property. Let me remind the debates: $50 for students going for 3 months programs, and $100 for students going for 4 months programs.
Hopefully, we are back.
Excellent.
Okay, yes. I'm sorry, there was some problem with connections. We don't know what happened, but the problem is already solved. I'm really sorry, but I don't think it was our fault. I don't know what happened, but we are back. Yes, because I'm using also my mobile, so I heard you, but I couldn't answer. Mariusz, the last question. Because we asked about the accommodation. So there was also a question about the age. One student, Valeria, asked if she is 17. Is it possible for her to participate in the program?
The Valeria needs to be 18 during the visa interview. So if she's younger, she needs to wait until next summer. Did I answer the question? Hello?
Yes, I think you did. Okay, so Mariusz, thank you very much for your presentation, for being with us, for answering all these questions and doubts. I hope you will stay with us till the end, because maybe later there will also some important problems will appear. Maybe not problems, but questions will appear. You could answer these questions later also. So please be with us. And now I would like to welcome a special guest from New York. Shari, I think you are with us. Yes, let's wait for Shari.
I'm here. Greetings from New York City.
Great.
Right.
So, yes, hello. Hello, Shari. Nice to see you and nice to hear you. We received from you a very short video, amazing one. So maybe let's start, if you are fine with this, maybe let's start with this video that I think will be a huge inspiration for our participants.
Sure, if you want to start with the video. Welcome to your summer work travel program with CICD. We have two great areas to learn about today: Ocean City, Maryland, and the Outer Banks region of North Carolina. Ocean City is known for their beaches and boardwalks. It is a family-friendly beach resort town where Americans visit to get away from the city and enjoy the sun and sand. But don't be fooled, there's so much more to explore than the beach. You will find a variety of restaurants, activities on the boardwalk, and opportunities to meet other exchange visitors like yourself from all over the world. Due to COVID, 2021 may look a little different, but there are still memories to be made in this beautiful town. We have two employers to introduce you to in this region: the world-famous McDonald's and Jolly Roger Amusement Park. Students working at McDonald's will be hired as a team member, working positions such as cashier, kitchen helper, or lobby attendant. Jolly Roger's offers an opportunity to work as a park attendant. Jolly Roger has 4 parks in one: a water park, rides, mini golf course, and go-karts. Games are available too. Participants will work in one of these areas as a park attendant, game operator, pool attendant, cashier, or groundskeeper. The Outer Banks is home to some national treasures. On your day off, you can explore the Wright Brothers National Monument, where the very first flight took place, visit one of the many historic lighthouses, or even take a walk on the largest sand dune on the East Coast. For the brave, there is even hang gliding. For the rest of us, It's a great place to fly a kite and see some amazing views. When you are not enjoying all the sights, CICD offers 4 employment opportunities in the Outer Banks during your exchange program: the Hilton Hotel, the Ramada Hotel, Captain George's Seafood Restaurant, and Jolly Roger Restaurant. At the Hilton, you'll have an opportunity to work in food and beverage department or the housekeeping department. Jolly Roger's is hiring for kitchen staff, bussers, servers, and the hostess position. Captain George's Seafood Restaurant offers kitchen positions, busser, food runner, and hostess. At the Ramada Hotel, you'll also have an opportunity to work in either the food and beverage department, the housekeeping department, the front desk and guest services, or as a beach attendant. At the end of your program, you will have an opportunity to travel and explore the United States. I thought I would end this presentation by sharing some pictures and sights from my hometown, New York City. Please remember that federal and state travel restrictions should always be followed during the pandemic. Thank you so much for your time, and I wish you the best of luck in your journey and upcoming adventures. All right, thank you. I'd love to back up and take a minute and introduce myself, let you know a little bit about who I am. So my name is Shari. I work for CICD, which is a Department of State designated U.S. visa sponsor here in the U.S. We issue the DS-219 forms, which enables you to join the program. I've been working with GoToUSA for almost 10 years, offering these quality programs. And I've been working with international and American college students for the last 20 years on exchange opportunities. I have dedicated my life to this because I love the idea of global citizenship, whether we are learning about ourselves, growing independently, meeting others from around the world, practicing our language skills, whether we're practicing native English with Americans, whether you're studying multiple languages while you're in Poland and you come to the US and have an opportunity to practice those skills with all the people that you're going to meet while you're here is an incredible opportunity. The video that you just saw is a short clip that sort of highlights some of the employers that I represent as a visa sponsor. My job is to go out and find some of the best locations and programs and job and housing for you. And then some of you who apply with GoToUSA will have an opportunity to interview with me, and we will look to find the right fit to create the best summer experience for you. I know someone had asked when Mariusz was speaking about the pandemic, and I thought I would take a moment to address that question. Because we do have students who have arrived for what we call the Summer Work and Travel Spring Program in the US. They're arriving this month. They did get their visas. Their country is offering embassy appointments. And it was important to know that we are quarantining right now. Anybody who arrives to the US has to quarantine for 7 days. And many of these students arrived 7 days before their program. They did their quarantine. And now they are with their employers. They're working. They're gathering at the beach safely outside, where social distancing. There's still a mask mandate in many of the states, but it does not affect the opportunity to work, to celebrate, and to participate in your program. And from there, I just thought I would see what questions I can answer for you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. Thank you for the presentation, for the video. Well, actually, I have a question. I didn't saw this question yet, but me as a mother, Let's imagine that, well, we don't have to imagine because I am a mother, but my kids are, well, still too young to go abroad. But let's say that a student, one of our participants, a student, will be encouraged by our meeting today and will one day announce parents, Mom, Dad, I want to go to USA for summer for work and travel program. So at first, I think that many parents, for example, me, can almost get a heart attack. But maybe you have some advices very shortly. You can, what can you advise these students? How to convince parents? Which arguments to use to reduce the fear, to reduce the fears of the parents?
Sure. Well, and again, I can speak for my organization as a visa sponsor, but I think this also is going to be the same with all the organizations here in the US. We have so many steps built in to provide student support, whether that is starting at the very beginning when we vet all the jobs, we make sure they're legal, we have somebody go and visit the organizations. We've met the managers. Students who come to Maryland or to the Outer Banks are placed with host families or student apartments and landlords where we have gone and visited the homes. We've met the people. We know exactly where our students are going to be living and how they're going to be spending the time. We really trust the host organizations that are going to be supervising them. But even more than that, the visa sponsor's role, my role, is to really support the safety and well-being of each participant, which means they have 24 numbers for the main office to call in case there's an emergency. There is 24-hour cell phone numbers for people like myself, for our direct students, so that they can call, text, WhatsApp. There's really direct access at all time to make sure that that safety net is in place. I am a young mother myself, and I know what it is to send your children, whether it is abroad or even to a program outside the home, and just to know that the people on the other side are there to really make sure everybody is putting the participant, you and your parents know their children first. Because this is an exchange program, right? This isn't a work program. This is not a let's go travel program. This is a cultural immersion program. And so making sure that everybody has a safe and enjoyable experience is number one.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so you convinced me. So I think in a few years, I will send my daughter. I have a question. There's a question from Julia. You mentioned about this, but maybe if you could shortly answer these questions once again. What kind of work will be represent for the student? So what kind of work you can offer? It was in the video, but maybe if you could repeat.
It's okay. So I predominantly send students to 2 regions, and I chose only 2 so that I could really concentrate and get to know the communities where our students were going to be. One of those regions was Ocean City, Maryland, where we have McDonald's. I feel like it's a national brand. Everybody knows what that is. And we also have Jolly Roger Amusement Park there. There's water parks and games and rides, and you saw so much water in the video. I saw somebody make a comment about water, and that's because they're all seaside locations. So that's Ocean City. And then in Outer Banks, which is a little bit of a calmer environment, right? Ocean City is for students who are looking for fast-paced and music and restaurants and bars and activities, whereas the Outer Banks is a little bit slower, a little bit more of somebody who's really excited about the local culture, who wants to go to weekly dinners in the community. And there we work with 2 restaurants and 2 hotels. And both hotels have restaurants as well. So everything from hostess and greeting Americans and sitting with them at the table, taking orders as a server, to students who feel a little bit more challenged by their English. I know I do so many presentations where students are very nervous about their English level. And for me, there's 2 kinds of English levels. There's very basic, which we have to be careful of because it's your safety. If you cannot go to the grocery store, if you cannot ask for help, if you could not share a problem, that's a concern. But as long as you have a basic level of communication, there's always going to be a job for you. And that's why we do offer housekeeping positions and kitchen positions, because you come over in those positions and you practice your English in an environment that isn't as challenging. And I've had a student actually with Go to USA who kept asking for an interview and asking for an interview. And on her third interview, we accepted her for housekeeping. And 3 years later, she was a server at a restaurant because she was committed to learning the language and taking any position to come because she knew it wasn't about the job. It was about the experience.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I saw also some questions, but I'm not sure if you will be able to answer because Ilya asked about the age limits. So if there are any age barriers to go on the program, for example, a person under 30 also can come.
So the traditional age for summer work and travel is 18 to 27. 18 is the minimum. You cannot participate if you're younger than 18, but there are exceptions for older, what we call non-traditional participants, somebody who might have graduated college, got into the workforce, decided to come back to graduate school, who's 28, 29, 30, and we definitely make exceptions for students of non-traditional age who are really committed to coming and having this experience.
Okay. I'm just checking the questions on our chat. Okay. So I think that there are no more questions to Shari. So Shari, once again, thank you very much for your participation. Thank you very much for taking part in this event. We hope we will send you a lot of students this year. So if there are no more questions, thanks once again. What's the weather like in New York now?
Oh, it's cold and sunny. I'll give you you can see out the window we have here. I don't know if you can.
Yes, show us New York. Wow.
The rooftops of New York City.
Okay, you said cold, you mean what's the temperature, more or less?
Well, I don't know Celsius. In Fahrenheit, today is about 33 degrees.
In Fahrenheit?
In Fahrenheit.
Okay, because now in Poland it's about, I don't know, maybe 10 in Celsius, so yeah. So we hopefully the pandemic will not be a barrier, and as I said, a lot of students will come. Thank you once again. Thank you very much for your participation, and see you next time. Bye. Okay, and now let's turn to another next part of the meeting. I would like to invite our students to share their experiences with you. But before students, I would like to invite one of our academic teachers. I already mentioned about her. It's Paulina Hejdukowska from our university. She was a student not so long time ago, but now she's working in our tourism and leisure chair. She's an academic teacher. She's also responsible. She's an Erasmus Plus coordinator. So she's responsible for helping our students to go abroad for Erasmus program. So she is very experienced in international relations, but she was also a participant of the Work and Travel program. So now. I will give a floor to Paulina. She will tell you a few words about her journey, about her trip. She will also share with you some photos, and later another two students will show you their presentation. So Paulina, come to us. I will give you a floor. Okay, so good morning. Hi, thank you, Agnieszka, for the nice introduction. So I'm Paulina Hejdukowska. Some of you for sure already know me. Yes, and I was the lucky one who was twice in United States with program what we're talking about. The first program was Work and Travel, and the second one was camping travel or something like that. I don't remember that good what was the exact name of the program because it was in 2014 and 2015, so quite long time ago. So as on the first, I only have photos from 2015 actually, what I will show you here, because I don't know what happened with my camera after that long time, actually 6 years. So when I was in 2015, I was on a camp and I was working with the disabled children during the camp. Why? Because I had an idea in my life that if I'm not going to work in a tourism, I will work with the disabled kids. And in 2014, I was working in a hotel as a waitress, and it was like very good experience for me because at that time actually I didn't speak good English. I remember when I arrived to New York City airport, Kennedy, yes, as I remember good. Yeah, no, JFK, yes, airport. I really couldn't understand what Americans are speaking to me, but I was the lucky one because during my journey to New York City, I met a nice American guy who actually explained me everything from English to English. Yes, so I had this first shock culture that I'm going somewhere and I actually don't understand what they speak to me. But after 1 month, it was very easy when you work only with, I was working actually at that time with Americans, with Irish people, with British, of course, Hungarians, Slovakian, even from Bolivia, there were some people. Actually, this photo, what you can see now, is with my friend from Slovakia. So sorry, not from Slovakia, from Poland. We met during our work in hotel. So something else about the hotel. At that time when I went there, the accommodation was provided because I could see there were some questions. So I didn't have to pay for an accommodation. I slept in the hotel where I was working. I was working normally 8 hours a day. At the beginning, I was working as a waitress, but then I preferred to work in a kitchen. Because I always like an international cuisine, so I wanted to also get some knowledge about an American cuisine or all the others cuisine. And working there also gave me a language experience. Yes, so I could speak English with everyone because there were no Polish people who I could speak to. So yeah, we had this really cool international experience. You can give them another photo. Okay, so this is my artistic photos. Like you have to remember that I was in 2015, so at that time cameras were not that good as now. Actually, it's a Brooklyn bridge because like I was the lucky one who worked actually inside of New York. I work in Manhattan at that time, so at night I was actually able to visit almost all the parts of New York City because I was living there for 3.5 months. Okay, this one is with my friend as well from the Times Square, for sure you know from all the commercials. Okay, this photo is really small because as I told you, the camera at that time weren't that good. But what is amazing about this program, in my personal experience, is that you work a week and then you have 2 or 3 days off. It depends on the program. And during these 2 or 3 days off, we were able to visiting some places. So I was also visiting during the program, not only after the program during this 30 days. So I visit like Washington, you can see here. Then on another photos, this is from New York City as well, because at night, as I told you, I was visiting with my Bolivian friend. Actually, for me also not only the language knowledge and language experience was very valuable, but for me was all those friendships what I made. Here you can see me with the Bolivian friend who I actually visit in 1 year ago when I was in Chile with my friend. We met with him in Bolivia. So I was traveling with him after 6 years together again in Bolivia.
Okay, here is also some photos from Washington. Yeah, I always wanted to have, I remember I always wanted to have a photo with New York Times. Yeah, from New York as well. Okay, those are my international friends. Also, the girl, what you can see in the front, she's from Pakistan. And I almost visited her this year in Pakistan because also she invited me. So we're still keeping in touch together. And the girl behind me, actually, we have so good connection that she's going to be my bridesmaid on my wedding. So you see that friendships, what you actually can make in United States is also very valuable. Okay, you can go forward. This photo, it's from when I was in 2015 on the camp, not working in a hotel with disabled kids. It's one of the parties after the camp just finished. I'm thinking what else to tell you. I told you about the friendships and international friendship, which you can use years after. You see that I have friends till now, so it passed already 6 years. For me, it was, to be honest, it was not more about making money. For me, it was more about traveling. Yes, it was always my dream to see United States. So I didn't care that much how much money I will earn there. But for me, it was more value like traveling. I was making a trip from east to the west coast by car. So also it was an incredible experience. It took us, I don't remember, oh my God, more than two weeks. Yeah, and I think that's it from me. Or what else I can? Actually, here I met also some nice friends in United States. It was in one of the places. Actually, during my stay in United States, because like Agnieszka, she asked before, what if mother is afraid for let kids go abroad? So I had a car accident in United States while my friend was driving. It was actually our fault because, let's say, she fell asleep while she was driving. And I had this, I wouldn't say amazing opportunity, but I had this opportunity to be in a hospital in United States. And as you know, the cost of health insurance is very expensive, but it's covered always by the program. And I had really good insurance, which provide me like a professional stay in a hospital. For me, it was amazing because in Poland, maybe you didn't have occasion to be in a hospital in Poland, but I had. So, for example, you don't have a good, I don't know, food in a Polish hospital. It's very popular, we say about it. And there, when I was in the United States, I got a menu with the food what I could choose every day to eat after the surgery. So from this view, also you don't have to be worried about what if everything happened with me there, because you have an insurance. And I was the lucky, as I told you, I was in actually the best neurosurgery hospital in United States, where they really took care good for me. And in the end also they organized a transport for me to Poland, and now you can see I'm normally healthy and walking, and I can speak with you. What was my biggest challenge? Actually, at the beginning, the biggest challenge was language, because like while I was working with British, they had totally different accent in English. You can see that I have really strong Polish, or you can say Russian accent, but they had totally different accent. And for example, we were working at the swimming pool as lifeguards for 1 week. And I remember this situation that there was a guy from Scotland, and he was asking me, I was asking him if he can give me a towel, yeah? And I was like, can you give me a towel? And he was like, I don't understand you, I'm sorry. And I repeat my question, can you give me a towel? And he's like, oh my God, I don't understand what you're talking about to me. And then he was just like, you want me to give you a towel? So for me, it was a funny situation because towel and tawa, it's almost the same. But yeah, those kind of language barrier, it was always like a big challenge for me. But after 2 months, I was even dreaming in English. So it was like I was speaking for the whole 24 hours a day English. So then after that time, you start dreaming in English. I had some dreams in English. That was a challenge. Another challenge, obviously, like at that time, I was 20 years. I don't remember how old, but about 20 years old. And the challenge for me was a long journey. So the flight at that time I was flying from Warsaw to Paris and from Paris to New York. It was 7.5 hours for the first time abroad for that long time, but still I met a nice people in the plane, and the guy helped me with actually everything. Maybe you have some questions? No. Okay. So thank you. That's it for me. And now, like just go and make your dreams come true.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Yes. So thank you, Paulina, once again for sharing your experiences with us. I think it's very well, not only interesting, but it's very favorable for you to have a possibility to hear opinions of participants, of your friends, of students, people in your age, because it depends from the perspective. Yes, how you see the program, how you see these possibilities. So now I think it's high time to give a voice to our very important participants, so to students. Today we have two students, and I would like to ask them to present the presentations. We will start with Lydia. Lydia is studying at our university, at the University of Business in Wrocław. Yes, she is studying the master degree. So soon, next year, you will be a master of management. And Julia was very happy. Well, to be frank, Julia was the one who one day emailed me, and she offered her participation in the event because she was very she had a high, let's say, willingness to share with you her experiences and to encourage students. Because she said that, maybe I will not say, maybe I will give a voice to, give a floor to Lydia, and she will tell you best what was her feelings. Hi, Lydia.
Hey everyone, can you hear me good? I don't know.
Yes, we hear you, Lydia. Yes, we hear you.
Okay.
And of course, I don't know, Lydia, if you prefer, you can make the presentation in Polish.
I saw a lot of people and like in comments, and I believe that it will be even better for me to speak English. I don't know, maybe people could say in comments.
Okay.
I can switch.
It's up to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you so much for inviting me. I will share my presentation, and I will tell you a few words about myself, and I will be very glad to share my experience with you, my work and travel experience. Let me share my screen. Yeah, so my name is Lydia, as you know, and I will share with you with all my experience of participation in work and travel program. And here you can see an amazing pictures from my sweet summers in States, and all the pictures were made by me. So almost no Google Pictures, just few of them. So few words about myself. So I am a student of Wyższa Szkoła Handlowa. Also, I am a business analyst in the IT outsource company. Before COVID, I organized a lot of events in my hometown, and I'm really hoping that I will continue to do so in Wrocław soon. Also, I organized some kind of events where I shared actually my work and travel experience, even here in Poland, and it is also always very cool to see people on my events, and after that I can follow them on Facebook via friends, and I can see that they already like went to States and they have some their own experience, and because I really like help them a lot, and they are like very appreciative about that, and so on. So if you have any questions, like please add me anywhere. I will tell you like all of my experience, and even if you see here some pictures, I will not tell you like full story about each picture because it could take a lot. But if you want to know something more, just please contact me. So here I will share my first work and travel experience. So it was, I believe, 2014. So I went to States, I believe, like 5 or 6 times. I lost count, sorry. Yeah, so my first time it was Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and it was amazing. And what can I tell you about like my first work and travel trip? Maybe I can start here from my why people go to America and why I went to America. So here I just note for myself maybe like a few points which I want to share with you. So there are a few types. I divided people for a few types of people who participate in work and travel program. So first of all, it's people who would like to earn some money, and that's why they're going to America. So it was me. Second type is people who would like to rest or for experiences, for traveling. It was me, but just a little bit. My main point was actually like money. And third people, it is people which are always complaining, like they want something, but they don't want, and they don't like everything, or they like everything. Like it is very common type of people as well. So basically, I was like that first type. Money and experience was like my main goals, I would say. And also I want to share here what people struggle about, maybe what people are afraid of. And what was I afraid of when I participated like first time in work and travel program. So first one is money, of course, because people are afraid of losing a lot of money, or people are afraid that a work and travel company is not as good as they wish, or people can have some bad job offer, and it is like quite usual that sometimes in company they say us that you will have like dream job, that you will have, I don't know, like heaven job, and after you have an apartment as well, but after you go there and you're like, oh my God, seriously, how does it happen? I know because it happened to some of my friends which I met in the States especially. So it is a very big problem. Also, what can be a problem that it is far, and some people get used to live with some friends here, they have family here, and America is really so far, and they are like, oh no, it's very far, I can speak, I'm in different time zone, I can't speak with any of my family, it is difficult, I won't go back. And mama say always, please come back, you feel better. And it could be difficult as well for a person. What else I wrote here? One more is that sometimes you think that you can rest a lot at work, that you can just relax at work, and people really expect for you to working hard, and maybe sometimes you can even have some problems with that, because they really expect you to work, so you need to show them and you need to work because they need to see some results, so you should be prepared to that. Also, you might think that you will be alone there, even if you are going from here, I don't know, from Wrocław, Rzeszów, from anywhere, you could think that you will be there alone, but it is not true. You can go alone, I don't know, you can choose whatever city you want, but believe me, in summertime, you will meet a lot of people there. You will meet a lot of friends, even from your country, from all countries in Europe, from everywhere. So make sure you are not worried about that. Also, another one is English. Some people think that English is required, but I can say that on my first trip, I didn't speak English, like I could say, at all. So I learned English maybe on my third, or I don't know, maybe later trip, because I spoke only, I knew like few phrases which you need at work, like how much it costs, good morning, how is things in your country, oh, you are from that country, and blah, blah, blah. And all the time I was speaking in Polish because I had Polish friends, and in Ukrainian because I was living with Ukrainian, and that's it. And a lot of students in that time, and especially in Myrtle Beach, there was a lot of students who spoke Russian. So no English at all, I could say. So on first year, my English didn't improve at all. So I just want you to be prepared to something like that, because it really depends. It depends on work, it depends where you live, it depends on a lot of stuff. So just for you to make sure that sometimes it could happen that you are back from America, but you don't know English. Here, if you have some other, if you're afraid of some other stuff which could happen in work and travel trip, please write in comments. Maybe we can discuss it, because with all those that I named, you can handle it, definitely. And you can just change your mindset. You can check the information. You can analyze the problem. And you can see that there is nothing so bad. I know that right now people are afraid a lot because of pandemic and because of COVID. And I heard that a lot of companies actually right now provide some additional insurance for that kind of stuff. They provide they provide some kind of support, like if something happens, they give you like money back or something like that. So you definitely, it is like the main points you should discuss with your company, which you choose for your work and travel program. And yeah, it is very important, because right now we don't know what could happen next. So you should make sure that everything goes as planned, and you should be ready for all cases. Okay, here I told you, okay, so about my first experience. So my first experience was Myrtle Beach. So here I will tell you some expectation and reality, because my expectation was that, okay, I'm going to America, I'm going with my it was expectation. I'm going with my friends, everything will be good, we will be relaxing, we will get some money, we will work on the beach, sun every day, ocean every day, we can go swimming every day, but in reality, it was a little bit different. So in the reality, I was selling lemonade. Actually, you can see on a picture that machine, I would say it was really heavy. On my first day, I could say that my first day, it was the worst and the happiest day of my life. First of all, why it was the worst day? Because we had a lot of people on the beach. Like this picture wasn't made in the first day, but on the first day we had a lot of people on the beach, and we had a high tide. So it is when ocean is very near you, and I should move with this machine like round and round of the people, and it was really very heavy. And I was in the water, I was in the sand, and no people can help me because it was really heavy. And you should go like you have like very big territory, and you should go two ways, like to the end, and later you should go back. And I was literally like crying because it was so freaking heavy. And I later on, I just called to my mom and I said, I just can't. And mom is always saying, okay, go back, you have tickets back, just take all your clothes and go back. But after that, it was really very hard day. But after that, I count my tips because we had like salary like each week, and also we got tips, and all tips were ours. And I count all the tips, and I got the most tips from each girls. And it was, I don't know, like 150 or something like that, like till 200. And I was like, okay, I can live with that. And my parents said, oh, okay, so it's good. So it was my experience. So firstly, I thought that it is very difficult, that I can't make it. It is like so heavy for me because I'm a little skinny girl and I just can't manage it. But after that, I tried and I really like it. I got a very nice body because of like 3 months of exercises every day. And also, like from some other point, we were on the sun. We usually needed to wear the sunscreen, but I got sun allergy. I didn't know even that something like that exists. So, but it was in the end of the trip, so it was everything okay. Also, I managed to find another job as well. So I had 2 jobs, and it was very nice for me because my main point was to earn a lot of money, and so I can pay for my study and give back to my parents all the money that they borrow me. So I did it, and after that, after those 3 months of work, we started to travel. And here I will just share like very shortly with pictures from our trip. So here it was LA, it was Los Angeles. We were flying for so cheap, I don't know, like $50 from one coast to another because we bought the tickets in advance. Here is as well, we booked some car. I don't know how much we paid for rent, I don't know, like $20 per day or something like that. And we travel around California, Arizona, and Utah. This view you can see just from the road, from your car, and it's amazing. I don't know, I'm in love with Utah, Arizona, and with all the states. And this is as well, I don't remember if it is from plane or if it is from the road. As well, Hollywood, LA. Again, LA, you can go surfing, you can go wherever you want. And Las Vegas. I recommend to go to Las Vegas only if you are 21, because I was 18, and it is very difficult to rest in LA when you are underage, and I definitely recommend you to go there when you are 21. It is actually LA or Las Vegas, sorry about that. And again, these amazing roads, San Diego, road to San Diego, my favorite city so far. Some ghost town cities you can see and also enjoy their completely silence. Those you can check as well. So the best way to travel there is to rent a car. So that's what we did. And actually to spend there, I don't know, 1 week, I believe, each of us spent like, I don't know, $500 to travel around all of that, to rent a car, to rent the apartment. And San Diego, yeah, it's my favorite view. And as well as California, I don't know, I'm just in love with California. And this is the work, actually, it depends where you work, and you always meet some friends, you always meet some people. I can tell you about each picture. I can tell you about each person on a picture. So it is just a big story. And we are like friends for ages, and we are like very close friends with all of them. And this is also expectation and reality. So you expect to be on the beach, happy, and I don't know, and you are working, everything is fine, but this was my back after first day of work, just because I thought that there is no sun, I don't need a sunscreen. So yeah. And just regular days in America, I don't know, it is like, I don't know, so good expressions, so good vibes, and very nice experience. And also, another word of what could scare you, it's, I don't know, American style, I would say. We are not used to some stuff like that, and it could be like very strange, but after you live there for some time, you are okay with all of that, and it is like regular for you. New York City as well, New York. So it is the same as you see in all TV show, in all, I don't know, movies. It is completely the same. And Florida, another my favorite state. You have a lot of good places to go there. And also I actually created my Instagram when I was first time in States, and it becomes so popular. I don't know, I got, I believe, like 20,000 followers or something like that, just because of my pictures from US. And actually, that's it. If you need some help, if you have any questions, how it was for me, or if you need some, I don't know, feedbacks from people who went to States, because a lot of my friends went there, please add me to Facebook, follow me in Instagram. My page is dead, but still I can answer you there. I will be happy to help you. And if you need, for example, to improve your English, I can recommend you some native speakers, my friend, which I met actually in States as well. So any questions, please contact me, and don't be afraid to make your life beautiful and exciting. That's it. Maybe there was some question for me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Lydia, some questions appeared, but I think that we will give a chance to make the second presentation of our students, Anula. But before, well, first of all, thank you very much. It was very inspiring and very valuable to everyone that is thinking about going to USA. But before we will ask Anula to present her experiences, I would like to welcome our main guest. So the Vice Consul at Vice Consul of USA in Poland, Ed Ferguson.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Ed. So I received a very short bio about you, but maybe if you are with us, I will just give a floor to you and you will introduce yourself to our participants. Thank you very much. We know and we understand that you are a very busy person. So we really admire and we are really thankful that you agree to take part in our webinar. So thank you very much for your contribution to that event.
All right, well, yeah, thanks a lot. Those are very kind words. And the first thing I should say is I'm sorry that I'm late. We had planned on doing this, and then yesterday some things came up, and unfortunately my colleague and I, Paulina from the consulate, could not make it to this thing on time, but I am pleasantly surprised that you guys are still in the middle of it, so we could make it before it ended, and we can give you our portion of the program. I can start off just by briefly sort of introducing myself. I don't know if Paulina has the ability to share her screen and put on the presentation, but I'm happy to talk about myself for a second before the presentation can get up there. So I work at the U.S. Consulate. I work in the consular section. So obviously this is a U.S. government program that enables college students in foreign countries like Poland and elsewhere to spend their summers working in the U.S. and traveling and seeing our country. It is a fantastic exchange opportunity for Americans to get to meet people from foreign countries and for people from Poland and elsewhere to get to know the United States. I actually have a really, it's a near and dear program for me, more than just because I work for the U.S. State Department. I've worked for the State Department for about 5 years now. I was in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, before I came here. But my first experience with the work and travel program was actually about 20 years ago when I met my wife, who studied at Adam Mickiewicz University in Poznan and grew up in Częstochowa. The two of us actually worked in a restaurant together while she was on work and travel. And she went back to Poland and finished law school in Poland. I finished law school, and we got married, and now we're back here working at the U.S. Consulate. So you never know what might happen from your program in work and travel. But besides my wife, I also met and worked with a lot of people from several countries, many of them from Poland, when I was in college, who were also on the work and travel program. So that's, anyway, a little bit about me. If Paulina can share her screen. Is she on there? There we go. All right, cool. So yeah, so this is, like I said, the Summer Work and Travel Program is just kind of the brief overview of it. It's an exchange program that's run by the U.S. government that allows college students like I'm sure all of you are who are watching, to spend your summer working and traveling. We probably go to the next slide. Okay, so what are we going to talk about during this this session? Just kind of an overview of the program. I'll let you know what you have to participate, kind of the process for applying, and then lastly, we'll talk about the visa interview, which in all likelihood might be, if it happens, conducted by myself. So you can go to the next slide. Okay, so I've already talked about kind of the background of the Work and Travel program. Basically, you have to be a university student. Now that means a university student, like in the traditional sense. You can't be, you know, my age and taking some classes at the university. You have to be an actual university student full time. There are exceptions right now for because of the COVID situation, for the you know, people who are working or going to school online. If you normally would not be going to school only online, if you normally would be taking your classes in a classroom, then you do qualify. But basically, you have to be a student. There are no real hard and fast age requirements, but you do have to be a student, and you have to be spending your summer temporarily in the US and ready to return to Poland to finish your university studies. So next slide. Okay, so I think we're going to talk about where you can go. Right. So of course, the United States is a very large country, and there are 50 states, and there are jobs in each of those states. And it really just kind of depends on what you want. So in 2019, which is the last year that we had the Work and Travel program, people went all over the country, as you can see. Most people go to places, so the nature of the work is it's always seasonal. It needs to be a seasonal job, and it's generally going to be in a service kind of industry where you have a lot of interaction with other people. And so for that reason, you're going to generally go to touristy type places, beaches, national parks, amusement parks, that kind of thing. The nice thing about that is these tourist places are tourist places for a reason. There's usually a lot of fun things to do in those places. And so it ends up being, you know, a really great experience, I think, for the vast majority of people who do it. You get the opportunity to work and make some money while you are in the US. And of course, you can spend every weekend or day off that you have from your job. You may be working on the weekends, but other days off doing whatever you like in you know, in the area that you're living in, or taking short trips here and there, or usually people take longer vacations towards the end of the program and can travel for, you know, a few weeks. I know a couple of guys that drove literally around the country and went to every single state. They did that in a month. I don't know if I would recommend that, but it is something you could do. Okay, so there are lots of benefits besides just making some money and traveling. You will, I promise you, meet a lot of good people. You'll make a lot of great friends. You'll probably go to some parts of the country, the United States, where most Polish people would never think to go to. But that doesn't mean that they're not worth visiting. There are some really beautiful parts of America that a lot of people in foreign countries don't really know about, but you may have the chance to see, because if you go to the Work and Travel program, you'll be there for 3 or 4 months. It's also a very good opportunity to improve your English. You have to have a minimum level of English ability to engage in the program. When you come to the consulate, we will speak in English during your interview, but your English doesn't have to be perfect by any stretch. And I promise you that it will be much better after the program than it was when you entered the program. You'll also be able to take, like I said, probably one of the best vacations you'll ever have. Okay, so I talked a little bit about this. The jobs, typically they're going to be service industry type jobs. You're going to have to, the reason that you need to know some English and the reason your English will get a lot better is because you'll be required to take a job where you interact with lots of people who all speak English. So those will be jobs. They're all seasonal jobs. So they'll be, in tourist kind of places. This will be the summertime. So beaches, swimming pools, amusement parks, national parks, those kinds of things. Like I said, I worked in a restaurant during the summers when I was in college, and that's how I met my wife, and that's how I made a lot of friends who were also in the Work and Travel program, because the restaurant I worked at was in a really big tourist destination. So who can participate? I also already said this a little bit. Basically, you have to be a full-time student in a academic program, a post-secondary academic program. So college, or well, we could say college in the US, university, that kind of stuff. You can't be, basically going to welding school. You can't be, taking online classes, part-time. It has to be full-time, and it has to be in a kind of a university academic setting. Okay, like I said, there's no formal age restrictions, but if you're my age and you want to do summer work and travel, you're going to have some explaining to do in your interview. It's not to say that you can't do it, but most people who do this are the age that people are usually when they go to university. You're also able to, do this program more than once. For example, my wife, she spent, I think, 3 summers in the US on the summer work and travel program. I don't know if that's typical. That might be a little more. Obviously, her situation as it was and as it is was a little different. I know that her sister did it twice. And I know a lot of other people who did it a couple times. It's definitely worth doing once. Definitely worth doing once. It might be worth doing twice. I don't know that I would recommend, frankly, for people to do it more than that, because at some point you want to have a job that prepares you for what you want to do when you graduate from college. The jobs that you get in the US during summer work and travel are fantastic jobs to learn English and to interact with people in America and to have a lot of fun. But, if you want to be a lawyer, waiting tables probably is not going to do it for you right before you graduate from law school. So, all right, next one. Okay, so how to apply? There's lots of ways to apply. Probably, I'm sure the most common is to go through an agency like the one that is hosting this program right now. There's a bunch of agencies that you can choose from. You definitely, besides this one, you want to look at all of them. Each of them have their strengths and weaknesses. They may vary in the areas that they specialize in, what fees they charge, and all those things. But it probably is, the agencies are helpful. They can help you find a job, a sponsoring employer in the US. They can help you arrange for a place to stay. And they can, help set up your interview and all those things. Obviously, they charge fees for those services, and the fees do vary. So make sure that you do your research and choose wisely when you choose an agency. Okay, so once you've chosen an agency, the agency will find you a U.S. employer. That U.S. employer will issue what's called a DS-16, or they'll issue a DS 2019. You will fill out the DS-160, which is your application for the visa, and you'll make an appointment, and then you'll come to the U.S. consulate or the embassy in Warsaw and get a interview for a visa. So here are all the different agencies that are available in Poland. We definitely, so the U.S. government is not going to endorse any one of these agencies over the others. It is up to you to do the research and learn what you can about each of these agencies, and choose one accordingly. All right. So eventually you will, if you and actually I probably should have said this from the very beginning. If there is a work and travel program, you'll want to schedule a visa appointment and come and apply and get an interview. Right now, we don't know whether there will be. We really hope that there will be one, which is why we're having this outreach program right now. But it really all just depends on what happens with this pandemic and how travel restrictions may be lifted or whatever. Right now, there is no program, but it could change, and we just want to make sure everyone is prepared in case it does. So if there's a program, you will schedule an appointment. You'll come to the U.S. consulate or the embassy, and there we will just interview you to make sure that everything is correct in your application, and make sure that your English is sufficient to be able to participate. Don't be too nervous. We don't expect you to be completely fluent in English. You just have to be able to get by. We want to make sure that you're not going to just find yourself in America where nobody speaks Polish and not be able to get along. We want to make sure that you have a successful and pleasant exchange experience in the U.S. And the only way that you're going to have that is if you have a minimum level of English. So we will be gauging your English, as well as the other things that we look at in the interview, like making sure that you are in fact a student, that you're in good standing at your school, that you plan to come back, those kinds of things. But it is nothing to be super nervous about. We try not to be too mean in our interviews, and hopefully you'll agree with that when you come and interview. Okay, if you are watching this presentation and you're not a Polish student, but you're in Poland, you still can apply. You'll be evaluated just as you would be if you were Polish. But again, you'll also have to show some extra stuff, like what it is you're doing in Poland, that you're legally here, that you plan on coming back here, or that you plan on going back to whatever country you're from or some other destination. The work and travel program is open to you. You're welcome to apply, but you'll have to answer some other questions, obviously, that a Polish student wouldn't have to answer. Okay, so there are other J1 exchange programs. The J1 is the kind of visa that you would get to do this exchange program. There are other ones besides the summer work and travel. We have the au pair program, as well as the trainee program. The trainee program is actually very similar to the summer work and travel. It's just a longer term. If you wanted to take like a year off from school and do work in an industry that was related to your studies, you could apply for a visa to do that. There's also the camp counselor program and other options. Many of these agencies deal with these programs as well, and so I'm sure that they can answer the questions about those if you're interested in them. A little note on the visa waiver program. So now, ever since November, Poles have been able to travel to the U.S. without a visa. You can go to the U.S. without a visa up to 30 days, but you have to register for ESTA. That said, you cannot participate in the summer work and travel program on ESTA or under the visa waiver program. In order to do the summer work and travel program, you do have to register with these agencies and register to get, apply for a visa and get a visa. The visa is what allows you to work. If you were to travel on ESTA, you would not be allowed to work, and you would not be allowed to stay for the entire summer. You would only be able to stay for 30 days. If you want to go to the U.S. for the entire summer and get to work and see all that the U.S. has to offer over the whole summer, then you have to go through the summer work and travel program. Okay, so yeah, I briefly touched on this. Are you going to be able to participate in the summer work and travel program in 2021? Unfortunately, none of us really knows the answer to that question right now. If the program were starting today, the answer would be no. There are presidential proclamations that were put into effect that prevent people from Poland and elsewhere to travel to the U.S. Under programs like this one. They are still in effect right now, but as everyone can see from the news, people are getting vaccinated. Case numbers in the U.S. have gone down considerably. Hopefully, this wave that we're at the beginning of in Poland will go down, and things will get a little better as more and more people get vaccinated. So, all of us hope that there will be a summer work and travel program in the summer of 2021. Unfortunately, we just don't know whether there will be one or not. I will say that if you applied for the program in 2020 and you paid the fee for your visa, that visa fee is going to be okay, and we will accept the visa fee. Pays for your application through, I think, 2022. So if you paid for a visa application last year and you weren't able to interview, and we do have a summer work and travel program this year, you can come in for an interview and you've already paid your fee. If something were to happen this year, preventing you from traveling, from applying for the visa, but you paid the fee, that fee, I think we can't refund it, but we can hold it for you until until September 30th, 2022. It is a $160 visa fee that you would have to pay when you apply for the visa. It's non-refundable, and you don't get it back if you don't get the visa, unfortunately. In addition to that, there's a SEVIS fee that's associated with that document, the DS 2019, that will be issued, that's associated with your employer. Sometimes your agency will pay the SEVIS fee for you. Other times you may have to pay it yourself. At any rate, the SEVIS fee and the visa fee both must be paid by the time you have your visa interview. Also, one note: the DS 2019. Great. The SEVIS generated DS 2019 is required for the J1 visa. So after you've interviewed for the visa, if you get the visa, you will need to make sure that when you travel, you carry that DS 2019 along with your passport. Don't pack it in your bag. You have to keep it on you with your passport so that when you cross the border with customs, you can show it to them, and they will know that your J1 visa is valid and you'll be able to travel. If you don't have that document, it won't be fun at the airport. So make sure you carry the document with you. Don't check it in your luggage. One other question that some people have, if I failed an exam, am I still eligible for the visa? Yes, of course. Every visa is going to be evaluated on a one-on-one, a case-by-case basis. You will have to interview, and if you qualify for the visa, you qualify for the visa. We're going to consider all kinds of factors when it comes to whether you qualify. One of them will be your enrollment and attendance, continued attendance in a university program. If you just had a bad day and messed up on an exam, that's probably not a big deal. If you're failing all your exams and it looks like you're not actually a real student, then that might be a big deal. So it all just depends on your own situation. And like I said, like it says right here, when you interview, we will evaluate you based on you and your own case, and all those factors considered at the same time. So another question a lot of people have, what if they have problems when they're in the US? One of the reasons that you pay a lot of money to these agencies to find you a job and to find you a place is because they will have your back. You want to contact that agency if there's a problem. You know, sometimes people have problems with their employers. They may have problems with their roommates. They may have all kinds of problems. The agency is the first contact for dealing with problems that you may have. Besides that, there's also a summer work and travel helpline. It's right here on the screen. You can call that number and somebody will answer it and help you with that. You can also send an email to this website, this email address. There are people at the State Department who can help you while you're on your program. And also, you'll get when you do the interview, you'll get a pamphlet that'll outline all the different rights that you have as a person who has a legal right to work in the U.S. You will be protected as an employee, just as any other person in the U.S. would be protected. You don't need to worry about your employer, for instance, holding your visa status or your immigration status above you. You're entitled to all the protections as an employee that anybody else would be in the U.S. under U.S. law. Am I still eligible for a visa due to COVID-19? My classes were online. So I've already discussed this. If you normally would be taking classes in person, even if you're taking them online now because of the pandemic, you are eligible for the Summer Work and Travel program if there is a program. Okay, and here some other information about contacts. There's the embassy website. The State Department also has a dedicated website to the J1 visas, and that'll deal with not just the Summer Work and Travel program, but those other programs that we talked about earlier. You can also go to the ustraveldocs.com and look for the Polish travel documents, as well as travel.state.gov has all kinds of information about worldwide travel to the United States for people from other countries and for Americans to other countries like Poland. Okay, so that's the end of the U.S. consulates portion of the presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Yes. Well, there was only one question about the pandemic. So, so it was if there still is there still a possibility that the program will be cancelled because of the COVID? But you've already answered these questions. So I think well, we have to wait. we don't know what will happen.
Yeah.
But let's be optimistic.
Unfortunately, yeah, we just have to wait and see. We're all very hopeful.
Okay, so once again, thank you very much. We really appreciate your effort, your willingness to participate in this webinar, especially that we know that you have an important meeting. So really, once again, thanks that you've joined us. I think you've dispelled all doubts. And thank you for leaving the email and the contact. I'm sure that if students will have any questions or problems now or later, they will use this possibility to ask, let's say, from the source. So thank you very much. And yes, and now the last part of our schedule, the last presentation, Anula. Anula is a student who participated in the Work and Travel program, and well, she is studying aviation management, I think she will tell you much more about this. Anula, thank you very much for for joining us. We know that you are waiting so long, but still a lot of students they are with us. So I'm sure they are very curious about to hear your story. So we are looking forward to see your presentation.
Okay, yes, hello everyone. I'm going to share my screen. So tell me if you see everything, and I'm going to start. Is that okay?
Yes, perfect.
So yes, great. Hello everyone. I hope everyone's doing great because it's been a while. Before we start, make sure to know who is talking. And as I was introduced, I'm from Kazakhstan, and I study in university in Rzeszów, which is the University of Internet Management and Information Technology. And I study in General Aviation Management faculty. It's my last year. Also, I'm ex-musician, as you see in these pictures. I'm a model, activist, traveler, volunteer, and vegan. So yes, I'm quite very multi, trying new things all the time. Just a little boring but motivating introduction. So from the left side, it was me, 14 years old, watching the first video on YouTube about such program as Work&Travel and dreaming about it. So this, her name is Big Abrizi, and she is also from Kazakhstan. So for me, it was kind of super unbelievable that same person as me from Kazakhstan could achieve such program and go to America. And the another part, right side from the in this presentation, it's me after 5 years being in America and achieving my aim. Yes, I was dreaming about this 5 years in a row, and as Mr. Mario said, it was really like American dream. And also I want to thank, of course, our agency, because they have great management, they have quality job offers, they have nice sponsorship, and you have seen already very great sponsor, Shari, and as mentioned, she was also my sponsor. And this agency is very safe and trustworthy because they do everything to make sure that students are in the good hands. So thank you. What about my job part? Okay, so I'm gonna, my presentation is divided to two parts. So first is work and then it's travel. My first was in Hilton Garden Inn. It was, the place is Kitty Hawk and the state is North Carolina. My position was hostess, and later I'm going to explain you why it's / and server. So I was supposed to be a hostess, and for hostess it was a fixed wage, like $9 per hour, and for servers it's $2 per hour and tips. There were so many places to choose from, but I chose exactly this, Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, because since I'm studying in general aviation, this place, Kitty Hawk, it's the first place of aviation, as it's this left picture in the, it was taken from by my friend. So it's a real picture. When you go to that city, it's written as this birthplace of modern aviation. It was important for me to visit this place where very first flight was taken, and this flight was taken by brothers, and this was a memorial state from these brothers. So I was very excited to visit that place. What about job? So as I mentioned, it was my, I was supposed to be a hostess, but I had some experience, and I showed my willingness to grow and to become a server, because despite that servers get only 2 hours per hour, $2 per hour, they have tips. So it's very good opportunity to earn as much as you can if you do your job well. So yes, and then they saw my willingness to grow, and I've become not only one server, but I became a very different level of servers. So I was working as a breakfast server, I was working as a banquet server, and also the noon server, which is outside the hotel near the swimming pool. These are my people who I was working with, also girls from Philippines and Ukraine, Romania, who were taking same program as Work&Travel. These are my HR, Jody, and my department manager, William Browning. They are so nice people, and I was so lucky to meet them because they're so open, and they do support all the time. And I whenever I face with some problems or just feeling homesick or something like that, they always was near me and was supporting me. And as I said about doing your job well, they really appreciate this. And when you being a part of their work, so I've received so many such amazing words in these bills whenever I give to my clients, let's say, for guests who come to these restaurants within the hotel. Whenever you receive such things and they give you to a front desk, it can be also a part to like the $20 per each letter, and you can receive it with your salary as well, each 2 weeks or each week, it depends. And yes, I got very great tips as well, and I was so lucky to be at that hotel. What about activities apart from jobs? So yes, I was living near the Atlantic Ocean. It was very great experience, and of course it was very hot, so the beach was the best place to go. It was of course ice creams, sweet frog, premium frozen yogurt, some chilling stuff, of course fruits and some sweets, and even like this, some Americans chilling things. So whenever you go to OBX, which is Outer Banks, so the bike will become your real necessity. So choose it wisely, because whenever you choose the bicycle, it can be broken, or you can break it or whatever, it can happen. So first you need to know how to ride a bicycle, and the second is choose a very good and quality bicycle. So you can see me in the garbage bag. So the bicycle is not a car, and whenever there is rainy days, we were forced to wear these garbage bags in order to avoid being wet. So it was kind of funny. So now we are moving to traveling part, and now so the places I have visited is these North Carolina, Washington, Chicago, Cincinnati, New York, Niagara Falls. So I was I was in the very in the middle and the east part of America. I wanted to go to west part like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and so on, but it was a case when there was Hurricane Darian, we faced that here, and so my flights were canceled and so on. So I didn't manage to go there, but instead of that, I just changed my plans, and with all my friends, we went to another cities. So America consists of 50 states. So whenever you can go to one state, there is the rest of another state. So you can there is so many places to choose from. So this is my places which I visited. So I did skydiving. It was awesome. I did with my friend. It was her birthday, and that was very crazy experience. So I was in Niagara Falls. I was in Chicago. I lived 2 weeks in Agaya, and I lived with this quiet American place where there was school buses, this American life, and that was also great experience. So about friends, all people who told you that you're not going to be alone, that's true, because there was so many amazing people I met during the summer, and we are still keeping in touch. And the thing is that you can share with your culture, you can know more of their culture, and this which makes your mindset widely. Your mindset become like wide, and you're gonna know more things about this world. So, and just a little things I would like to advise you guys. So yes, my sponsor was CICD, which is the head of Shari, and it was wonderful to be under their hand. And I want to advise you also to not forget that you are only a guest in that country. So whenever you go to, you are a guest in someone's house, you behave yourself very carefully. So do it also whenever you come to another countries. Do not pull all responsibility on your sponsor. Take care of yourself first, because whenever you get, for example, sick or whatever it is, there is only your responsibility to go over it and become well. Because you can't just wait for sponsor bring you some medicines and pills, because sponsors mostly help with documents, and it's another point about rules and reading carefully all this stuff connected to bureaucracy, banking, and agreements, because it's going to be your sign there. You're going to be signing with your hand, so you need to get all responsibility. So another more positive thing: have fun, but do not lose your mind. Be careful and on the road when you are cycling. So as I said, the bicycle is the main part of your thing. You're going to be moving to one place to another with your bicycle. So you need to be very careful on the roads. Take advantage of any place you go. So as I said, whenever you can go to one place, there is so many things to choose from, and take advantage of any place you go. Everything depends on you and your attention. So as before another speaker said, there is few types of people who go to America, and you can get whenever you want, as long as you do everything for achieving it. So yes, that's, I guess, that's all from my side. If you have some questions for me, I'm gonna share and answer all questions if you want.
Thank you very much, Anula. Your presentation was very, very useful, and also thank you very much for all these tips and guides and remarks you shared with us, with students. I haven't seen any questions. I think, I find this webinar very inspiring, very motivating. We looked at the program. Well, it took us more than 2 hours, almost 2 hours and a half, which means that we look at the program from a lot of perspectives. The last part, the very important, I think, for all the members part, with the participation of Anula, of Lydia and Paulina. So so he was the perspective of the participants. And also another perspective was from an organizer point of view. So here Mariusz from Go to USA, he gave you a lot of information. You received, I think you received a full answers for all questions regarding the procedures, the possible problems. So I think if you will have any questions, any problems later, you can contact with Go to USA, with Mariusz or with other employees, and for sure they will guide you, they will help you. And then very interesting presentation from New York, from Shari. So we had an employer perspective also. So thank you, Shari, for sharing sharing this photo, and also for explaining, for answering all questions about the places where students can work, about this accommodation. I think it was very important because the program, it's very well organized, but students still have a lot of questions and a lot of doubts. And finally, very important part and the participation of Ed Ferguson, of the Vice Consul. He also answered all your questions about the pandemic. Unfortunately, we still don't know what will happen, but as they told you, I mean, Mariusz and Ed Ferguson, we hope that everything will be okay and the program will be organized also this year. So you will have a possibility to participate. So from my side, I think that we've answered all questions. We talk about all aspects of the program for sure. I really appreciate your presentations, your participations. It was very important for us, and I think also for all participants. It took us so long, but still there are a lot of students is observing us. Then later they can watch this video again. So I think this is also very important. And I think personally, I think that if you've hesitated after this presentation, after this 2 hours and a half of webinar, I guess and I hope you get rid of all doubts. And you will talk to your parents, you will talk to your friends. You can also, once again, I will repeat it once again, but you can also contact Lydia. They encourage you to contact Lydia, Ananula, Paulina, and the consul also gave an email. And I'm sure that Mariusz is the first person, and Go to USA company. They are ready to help you with this. So what now? Now I would like to thank once again. Oh, Shari, I just noticed that now you are outside. What time is it now in New York? Because in Poland it's almost 4 p.m.
Well, it's almost 10 a.m. in the morning here.
So you are just starting the day, and we are finishing working day. So thank you very much. Hi there. I've already seen him in the morning. Hi. Maybe one day you will come to Poland. We are sending our students to USA, but you are welcome in Poland. So thank you very much once again. I hope that it will be very valuable for me, as it was for you, as it was for me. And have a nice day. And start packing your luggage to USA, of course. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to meet you and to be with you. Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.